Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Nurin Yasmin binti Muhammad Nazari from class DLS5A and my matrix number is 30DLS22F1035. Today I want to present about the ethics in pricing component of freight industry. So, the introduction to department. A custom declaration process is a process to declare any shipment that shall give a full and true account of the number and description of packages of the description, weight measure, quantity and value of all the such distributable goods and the country of origin of such goods. Document that required by RMCD, which is Royal Malaysian Custom Department, includes Custom Form 1, airway bill, commercial invoice or any relevant permits, licenses and certificates. So, ethics in pricing component industry. Ethics in pricing component industry within the freight industry involve the ensuring that rates, surcharges, and overall pricing structures are transparent, fair, and aligned with ethical business practices. Ethical pricing ensures that customers are charged fairly with honesty about cost and without exploiting market condition or hidden fees. So there are two examples of ethics in pricing component of freight industry. For the first one is fairness and the second one is transparency. So the aspects of international, the nature of price competition between transport mode. So the first is the cost structure differences. Each mode has distinct cost component and operational expenses. So for example, air freight is a fast but highly fuel intensive and costly, making it ideal for high value, time sensitive goods. And the second one is sea freight. It is lower but far more economical for bulk shipment, benefiting from economies of scale. The third one is rail. It can be cost effective for intercontinental freight with lower fuel cost than road, especially over long land distances. And the last one is road freight. It is flexible. And ideal for short to medium haul trips, though rising fuel and labor costs can impact prices. So the picture showed about the differences of transport modes in the aspect of international nature of the price competitions. So the second topic is a price measurement. Price measurement in freight operation is the process of calculating and assessing various costs associated with the transportation of goods. This involves understanding both the direct and indirect costs and methods used to determine final pricing. So there are key aspects of price measurement in freight operation. The first one is fixed versus variable cost. The fixed cost is costs like vehicle depreciation, leasing or crew salaries, which do not fluctuate with the shipment volume but are incorporated into the pricing structure to maintain profitability. The variable cost is a cost that varies with operational factors such as fuel prices, tolls, cargo handling fees, or loading and unloading time. They are also usually directly reflected in the pricing. So the second one is freight rate calculation. The weight and volume, or a dimensional weight. The freight rates often depend on either the actual weight or the dimensional weight, which is volume-based weight of the cargo, particularly for air and courier shipments where the space is limited. The second one is a per kilometer or mile costing. It is commonly used in road and rail transport where costs are measured based on the distance traveled. The third one is a per container or bulk rates. In sea freights, rates are frequently measured per container, for example 20-foot or 40-foot container, or in bulk volume for commodities which considers both weight and volume. So, the relationship between the price and demand. The relationship between price and demand in freight operation is shaped by several economic principles and unique market dynamics. This relationship generally follows the principles of supply and demand, where changes in price can directly affect demand and vice versa. However, in freight, this relationship is influenced by external factors such as seasonality, capacity, and economic cycles. So the first is a basic supply and demand principle. As with any market, in freight operations, higher demand typically leads to higher prices, especially when capacity such as vehicle space, container availability, or workforce is limited. When demand drops, prices generally decrease as carriers aim to fill excess capacity. So the graph shows the price and volume and the equilibrium of the basic supply and demand principle. So the second one is the influence of seasonal demand and peak periods. Freight demand fluctuates seasonally, often spiking during peak times. For example, holiday seasons, back to school periods, and harvest seasons. During these times, limited capacity leads to significant price increases due to high demand, and demand for certain modes become inelastic as shippers are often unable due to delayed shipment. As a result, prices can surge in peak times, often accompanied by added peak season surcharges. So, ethical issues in pricing. The price gouging during crisis. In situations like natural disasters, pandemic, or geopolitical disruptions, freight demands can surge, especially for essential goods such as food, medicine, and PPE. Unethical pricing practices such as significant price hikes on urgent shipments can exploit customers in dire needs. Ethical pricing involves limiting price increases to cover only genuine cost hike, not exploiting demand spikes during crisis. So the second one is the lack of transparency in hidden fees. Some freight companies add undisclosed fees or such as handling, peak season, security, or fuel surcharges. They are not initially communicated to the customers. This lack of transparency can lead to unexpectedly high costs and creates mistrust. The ethical pricing requires full disclosure of all fees and surcharges upfront to avoid misleading the customers. So, the diagram shows analyzing the ethical concerns. The first is unfairness and inequality. The second one is exploitation of vulnerable consumers. The third one is the decreased consumer trust and loyalty. The fourth one is the potential for discrimination and bias. The fifth is the negative impact on the competitions. So the conclusion is the ethical pricing in the freight industry is the essential to building trust, ensuring fairness, and maintaining a competitive and sustainable market. Ethical issues in pricing such as price gouging, high hidden fees, discriminatory practices, and misleading surcharges undermine customer relationship and harm the industry's reputation. By prioritizing transparency, consistency, and fairness, freight companies can address these challenges effectively. A commitment to ethical pricing not only supports customer loyalty but also fosters a more reliable, equitable, and sustainable freight market that benefits all stakeholders. So the recommendations. The first recommendation is enhanced transparency. The freight company should disclose all fees, surcharges, and pricing structures upfront. Providing clear, itemized quotes help customers understand what they are paying for and builds trust. The second one is implement fair pricing policies. It avoids discriminatory pricing based solely on client size or bargaining power. Instead, create structured discount programs for bulk shipments and consistent rate adjustment for all customers based on clear criteria. The third one is limit price increases in crisis situations. Avoid price gouging during high demand period caused by emergencies or natural disasters. Set pricing based on the actual cost increases rather than solely demand, especially for essential goods. So that's all from me. Thank you.